Yes people, in this video I'm going to be breaking down one of my own tunes, and that tune in question is Coda. Now Coda was a bit of a turning point for me, so a little bit of a story time. Back in COVID during 2020, I sent a bunch of tunes to Logan and Coda was one of them. I remember I was watching one of his live streams that he was doing and I could hear him bringing it in and I was getting absolutely buzzing. And then as he dropped it, it did seem like he was enjoying the tune, which was, you know, a great sight to see. I remember watching him drop it in a Problem Central set where Evil B and X-Man really seemed to enjoy it. And then there was another set as well where Hazard dropped it and both Bassman and Funster wanted it to be wheeled up.
You beat me to it, bass.
Anyway, to cut a long story short, it seemed to be the first tune of mine which gained quite a bit of attention, and it ended up getting released on Lowdown Deep in 2021, nearly 5 years ago, which is pretty mental to say. Anyway, in this video, I'm getting the original project file back up and we're going to be going through it. Now, I'm going to give a little disclaimer that it might not sound exactly as it does on the released version, but in 2020, Logan invited me to his to mix and master it, and I used his sound card while I was there, which is a UAD one, which has all plugins and stuff built into it. Yeah, as you can see here, the non-VIP version hasn't been opened since the 20th of November, 2020. Okay, cool, now this is all good to go. I'm going to give it a quick playthrough, but as I say, it might not sound exactly the same as the released version, but you should get the idea. Before we get into the breakdown of the tune, please do hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and do let me know down in the comments if there's any other tunes of mine that you'd like to see. You can find them on Spotify. Anyway, let's get into this. I won't play the whole tune, but you get the idea. If you want to listen to the full tune, Spotify, SoundCloud, probably YouTube as well. It's on all the good sites. So the way I think I'll break this down is I'll start with the drums and then go down to basses, you know, just work my way down the tracks. So with the drums, so if we separate it, we got the main kick channel here. We got the main snare channel. And then we got the main like cymbals channel. And then a separate channel here for reverse kicks, so they happen in the little kind of mid-bar breaks, so just help with that kind of flow and impact. So The kick on this, let's have a look. Okay, so the kick on this is just an old kick that I made ages ago. In fact, I don't even know if I can get the date on that. 2019. Okay, so probably 6 months before the actual track was created. So this, I mean, because it's one I've already made, yeah, there's minimal processing. I mean, I've got a bit of automation here. What's that doing? Oh, that's just during the little build-up. Oh, that's specifically in the second bar build-up where there's multiple kicks happening. Well, I suppose there's multiple kicks happening there, but do you know what I mean? Is there anything else on this kick channel? A little bit of high-end roll-off, probably just to give the top end of the cymbals and the snare a bit more breathing room. And you can tell I produced this made this tune a while ago, because it's not done with MIDI. So these days I would tend to put the sample, like the kick or whatever, onto a channel with like essentially a sampler playing the kick every time a bit of MIDI hits, because that way it's a lot easier to sidechain with like a MIDI ducking, as opposed to how this track is, which is sidechaining an audio signal. More of that when we get to the bass. So there's probably a bit more to talk about on the snare, because it's actually made up of quite a few different parts. So what is this comprised of? Because there is a lot going on here. So we've got this original, I'm guessing this is what the original snare I was trying to make is, which is just compiled of loads of different samples. That's like a rim. That's quite a normal sounding snare. And then we've got here, so this little part here, this is like an offshoot like snare. Yeah, it just helps with the flow, especially when you have it with all the drums together. Yeah, it just helps with the flow. Most of the heavy lifting in this snare, though, is done by this one, which is original Badman snare, which is again a snare from another tune I did. So I can't really say too much about the snare and the kick, I suppose, because most of the foundations are just from samples that I'd already made. And then what's this down here? That's just like a clap. So again, it's just all layered together nicely. Got transient master. So firstly got a Camel Crusher. This will be blank. Yeah, 0% everything. We've got a bit of a 230 hertz boost. So that's kind of where the thumpiness, the chest kind of feeling in a snare comes from. And then this is just going to have the attack whacked up a bit, I reckon. Yeah. Oh, and sustain brought down a little bit. So, yeah. I mean, that's just on this main snare here, isn't it? So, if we take that off. Barely noticeable, but if we turn it all the way up, you can definitely hear there's a lot more punch going there. So, I'm trying to remember what it was on. It was about 28. And the same with this EQ as well. It's just a very slight bump, only 1 decibel at that 230 mark. Again, it's a very subtle change. Arguably, would it make much difference? I don't know. But what I do know is Logan's speakers, which are some Neumann KH210s, they're fantastic, and they really do reveal so much information and depth about a track. So on my shitty little speakers I'm using here, might not make the difference, but on them, those little tweaks, they definitely do all add up. So I think that's pretty much all there is to say about the snare. Yeah, there's nothing done with this original Badman snare. And then this clap, I mean, that's just turned down 6. It's just basically weaving a bunch of snares together. I don't even know if I've done much individual EQ on these. Yeah, literally one of them, which is that top rim type one, that's just had the low ends after about 260 rolled off. So yeah, again, pretty straightforward and simple. Alright, this is just going to be a quick cheap little edit right here, because turns out if you do a video without a script, sometimes you miss things. So this is the all snare channel, which has got all of the snares together. And quickly going over that, we've got 2 plugins here. We've got a Fab Filter Pro Q2, which is just rounding off some of those high frequencies. And then we've also just got a Camel Crusher with the Subtle Master preset, which, yeah, 50% on that, just again making it a little subtle boost, but 50%, you know, not too much, and just preventing it from redlining. And then finally, with the cymbals on this track, I mean, the cymbals on this are, I guess, probably the most complex part of these drums. In the intro, we've just got this solid four to the floor hat. Actually, I suppose if we wind it back even further, in the very beginning of the track, we have this kind of delayed sort of hi-hat, which I think is only used in the intro and never again. And in the break when it first drop has happened. So yeah, that's just a nice little fun detail, I guess. And then yeah, just the 4 to the floor, which again, recurring theme going on here. The main hat, that 4 to the floor hat, is one I'd previously made and then saved in my little personal sample library, and that's just laid with a kind of closed hi-hat. That might even be the hat that's used in the intro. CL025. No, it's not. There you go, revealing information. So this is all happening in we're not even talking about the hats on the drop yet. And then that, I mean, this is going to the intro, but there is a break, which kind of probably should be in the drums, but it's not, so yeah. But them combined, it's just a nice flow to it. But as with a lot of my tunes, I'm a big fan of the kind of 4 to the floor hat pattern. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like these rolling drums, everything going wild, but yeah, to me, that kind of just solid 4 to the floor hat pattern is my favourite, which is what this tune's got. So when it drops, those hats, again, that main hat is just there throughout, just carrying, where is there? Just carrying it all the way through, as you can see here. But the way we keep it interesting and not boring and monotonous is all these other little artifacts that are happening within the cymbals. So if we just play them, we've got, okay, so other than the hats, we've got these rides. Oh, we've got more breaks, but we'll come to them in a second. So to start with the rides, so every 4 we have like a ride happening. So if we listen, got the first one there, and then we actually have another ride, but this is reversed to lead us into a completely different ride. We don't have any of that reversal happening here, but we do have another ride. So within the first, I don't know, what's that, 15 seconds, we've had 4 different ride cymbals heard. And those sorts of things, I think, are just what keep a tune interesting, because is anyone going to notice? Probably not. But I feel like your ears could easily get fatigued if that sort of thing wasn't there. Or maybe that's just me being a bit spectrumy, I don't really know. So in those first 15 seconds, as well as that main hat, we've also got these other little hats in the background. Got like an open hat happening on the initial hit, and those little breaks. Cool, so that's all within that first 16 bars, but to keep it interesting, we're going to add something new. So this is where we have the rolling shuffles and a bit more cymbals coming in. But again, it's that same first 16, but with these 2 new additions of these cymbals here, little shuffly thing, and another little shuffly thing, and just all together, it just just helps the track flow. But now we're getting on to the second half of the first drop, so once all that's happened, we've had our 32 bars. Now, how do we keep it interesting at this point? We add some more cymbals. This time we go for kind of like a splashy ride thing, which is just in the background. It's not really there. I mean, I think it's a fairly noticeable, but it's not really getting in the way. So it's these ones down here. And the thing is we have just the exact same hat pattern as we've had in that first 16, but with these new rides, and then the exact same the exact same cymbal pattern as that second 16, but again with these additional splashy rides just happening in the background. So I suppose that's about it with the drums, really. I suppose we could talk about the little filter drums which happen here at the beginning. I mean, this is just simply an EQ, or, well, more specifically, a DJM filter. Shout out Zephyr Records, this is a great free plugin, which then has a bit of reverb to splash it at the end, as well as this high pass, low cut, whatever you want to call it. And it just helps. I mean, that's also layered with a drum fill. Again, I should probably have layered these better, so we'll bring the fills up to be underneath the drum fills. So these fills, they're just, I'm pretty sure these are all just from Splice. So what's this? Just a, and what's this one? Yeah, just a couple of. And then we got another snare. This is a very generic snare roll. Used it in loads of tunes right before the drop. And then a tom roll. And what's this? I thought that was more of an effects. I thought that was in the effects channel. But yeah, that's apparently a drum roll as well. And again, just throughout the drop, when there's little breaks before the next, 16 phrase or whatever, just more little drum fills. And then again, before the second half of the first drop starts, nice little shout out Travis Barker. Yeah, it's just little fills and details like that. Got another one here. Same one we heard earlier, but yeah, these little things, just little cuts, little fills, all add up nicely. Also, this drum channel, it goes to some of the sends and returns, so it goes to A, C, I, and J. So let's solo these one at a time. So A, I mean, you can just hear that's just heavy distortion. That's got a drum bus, EQ, yeah, low cut, OTT. That's just there to add like a crunchy kind of layer to it, I guess. And that's also why it's low down. So on C, what have we got? Reverb. Yeah, so this is quite a close sounding reverb. Oh, it's quite a short sounding reverb as well. Yeah, into an OTT. Low cut, yep, knew it. And yeah, that's just in the background there. Just adds a bit of tail to the drums. J, overdrive for the drums. Okay, this is similar. This got a high and a low cut to it. Yeah, this is very specific part of the drums. I remember this. I remember thinking, like, the drum sounds like there's part of it missing, and then I got an EQ up and I noticed that there was around that 1000 hertz mark, which could do with more going to it. So I've sent the snare to it, and it is just the snare having a bit more of a 1000 hertz boost. Okay, so let's go on to the bass. So the bass in this track is primarily, in fact, it's all, not even primarily, it's all Massive. Now, Massive is, if you've seen any of my videos before, I love Massive. Still my favourite synth, I reckon. And this patch is dead simple, so let's get it up. It is just two oscillators. One's a sine wave, one's a triangle wave. The sine wave is high. And this is what, 2 octaves and then 4 semitones apart from this lower oscillator. And what else have we got on this channel? Really not much at all. I think it is just that, really. And then this is just going into some Ableton effects. So we've got an amp, an EQ, and a phaser. I don't even know if the phaser is needed much, so this is raw. I should probably actually turn off all of the other little effects on the channel to make it fair. Their sidechain, they can stay. Cool. So that is it. Oh, I've also got these sends and returns. I'll get onto sends and returns at the end, which might seem a bit stupid, but I'm at that point now, so we're doing it. So, in fact, should I turn off all the sends and returns? Yeah, maybe. So it's a very basic patch. Goes into an amp, which, you know, beefs it up very slightly. EQ, low cut under 100, so there's no sub-frequencies, and I'm boosting those highs, but as you can see, the primary frequency is like around, what, is that 300-ish? 200, so yeah, all of this stuff up here is not really getting heard, so it's just a little boost. And then the phaser, what's that doing? It doesn't really sound like it's doing much. It's just kind of adding, I don't know what you'd call it, maybe a slight tonal change, very slight. And then this is just going into a Camel Crusher, which is just gonna add some of that juicy beef. So if we go on to the actual main channel now, so EQ2, Pro Q2. So that's just toning down some of those frequencies under 500, which is going to be primarily that main boo sound. And then the auto pan, so this is what gives it that wobble. Magic, innit? Another EQ, oh wait, no, this is Pro QC. I'm not actually sure what that's doing. Does it do anything when there's multiple things playing? You know what's funny? As I'm just on this now, I have a feeling, because that's not doing anything. I think I tried to use this as a sidechain, and I don't know if I just couldn't get it to work or if I was just too lazy, but I feel like that is just a plain, just drag the VST onto the channel and I've done nothing with it. So we'll move on from it. Dimension expander. Now this is, again, one of my favourites to use. I should probably get it off the reverby bit. This is a great little plugin. Again, shout out Zephyr Records. It's just a good way to add some width. Now, interestingly, before I played the tune through earlier, I realised that because I was using the old Dimension expander, when I loaded it, this was both at size and mix halfway through, which was way too extreme for both, so I've just guessed and turned it down. So the tune, as I said at the beginning, probably didn't have these settings, but oh well. Dimension expander is fantastic. So now we've got another Pro Q2, and this is just, again, toning down some of those frequencies under 500, supposedly. It's all very like small little changes, like very small. These two compressors are sidechain, so we've got one for the kick and then one for the snare. Again, as I say, old tune. I wouldn't choose to use this method anymore, but it clearly works because the tune got released. So what have we got here? Then we've got a utility. This is just giving everything a bit of a 1 decibel gain. A further cut under 100 hertz. This is something I will sometimes do occasionally, just reaffirming that nothing is coming through on which could interfere with the sub. And then finally, another camel crusher. Just making sure everything is as fat as possible. So I'll quickly go over the return channel. So this first one on A. Oh dear. So the first one on D. What's this one doing? Oh, this is just a bit of reverb, isn't it? Reverb into an OTT and then cutting out lows. Yep, knew it. What's this one doing on E? Oh, this is just trash, which is just making everything really distorted. Everything. These are both going to be low, aren't they? Yeah, -20. What's this one at? -32. This is EQ again, low cut, OTT. We all know what OTT does. But if we boost that up. So yeah, that's just there to just add some depth to the background, I guess. What else have we got finally on F? It seems to be just another similar sort of thing. We got trash here, bit of, you know, tonal character change into a reverb, into an OTT, low cut, of course. And then I've just reaffirmed the wobble by copying the auto pan that is on that bass channel, putting it on the return, so that way this wobbles in the same manner as the main bass, if that makes sense. And that's about it really, I suppose. It's just the same bass throughout. I mean, it changes here where it goes up to from being 4 semitones from that root note to being an octave above that root note. Yeah, just small little variations. And I suppose this little end of bar bass here, how does that go? Okay, so interestingly, I've forgotten how I produced this song, because this was the bass I thought it was, this one here, but I've clearly mixed that with this, so it has that initial wobble that's in line with the tune, and then it goes to this end of bar bass, which is, I think, quite a similar patch, but it has the sine shaper distortion amount, or okay, so it's the cutoff amount, but it's going into a sine shaper, which is giving it that sound. So if we turn that off, yeah, it sounds pretty similar. And as far as the bass channel goes, I think that's pretty much it. There's not really much more to speak about there. Alright, cool. So the next channel we got is this end of riff filler. This is quite a cool little thing, I think. It's da-na-na. Really, it has no real... It's probably a splice sample, isn't it? It's just something to help with the track flow. You probably don't notice it unless you're listening for it. I just thought it was a cool little filler, so yeah, probably the quickest part of this video so far. Okay, so the subs channel. So this is going to be relatively straightforward. On the group, we've got these 2 compressors, which are sidechaining the kick and the snare. Got an EQ2, which is rolling off everything above 200 and has a little dip around, from 66-ish. And the reason we've got that is because I like to thicken my sub up a little bit, so it's not just under 100 hertz. It's, we got up to about 200. We'll get more on that in a second. And then this is just a Camel Crusher, which I'm guessing is 100. Okay, so this is doing a little bit of a subtle master, as per the name of the preset. And so the actual sub itself is massive. It's a triangle wave. It's got a classic tube distortion on, and the reason why we have this EQ on, I mean, that sounds quite nice, but just rolling off those highs and making space on those sub frequencies a little bit, just so everything can come through a bit clearer. Yeah, it makes for a nice quiet sub, I think. The reason we've got 2 channels here is, one, is the main sub channel, and then the second one is the intro slide. So that is just simply, you know, does it need its own channel? Probably not, but I gave it one anyway. I thought it was a cool little thing, just, you know, as the tune builds and as it's getting ready to... I just thought it was a cool little thing for the flow. And yeah, the sub just follows the same pattern as that main bass. Doesn't have that wobble in. But yeah, it's just a relatively straightforward patch. Cool, right, on to the effects. Now, one of the things I love to do is just have tons of effects everywhere. Most of these effects I'm pretty sure are from Splice. I can see we've got some here, so these two, you know, bad to worse chant effect and real nasty drop effects and bassline romper. These are all ones I've made previously. So bad to worse chant is pretty straightforward. It's just a continuous chant type thing. The real nasty drop effects, that is just little sounds that happen every however so often, and yeah, so these just, again, little things that are happening in the background of the track that you might not hear. Bassline romper, so this here is just like an offbeat kind of metallic-y thing, and it comes from bassline romper, and that is the vocal sample from the first ever tune I put out as a free download in, I want to say like 2018 or whenever it was. It's probably still out there on the internet somewhere. It's probably not very good. Anyway, so effects wise, so I just like to have loads of things happening all the time. So if we play it from the beginning, help if I yeah, so we've got a downlifter straight from the get-go, going into another downlifter, just 8 bars afterwards. And then we've also got an uplifter happening as well, which then goes into a downlifter. Also has a clap, I believe, which I think just... it does all just help with the kind of flow. I don't want to go too much into all of this because it's relatively just straightforward stuff, right? It's just constant uplifters and downlifters happening and little effects and another downlifter. And it all follows the same kind of pattern of like building tension and then releasing tension. So when we come to those little like breaks, so after 16 here, for example, I need to turn that down, don't I? Yeah, so just building and releasing. I don't really know what much more to say on them, because yeah, it's pretty straightforward, I think. So on to the intro now. And this, again, mostly made up of samples from Splice. So what have we got here? Just kind of like a background pad, and I guess it's just pads on pads, really. Pad, and then the kind of like complementing pad to go with it. So you got that, and then another complementing pad coming in underneath. And then going back to that original one. And what have we got underneath as well? What are these? Oh, okay, these are kind of like a little chordy sort of. But that has like a volume automation on it. What else have we got going on here? We got anything else that's kind of like volume automated? Microchord lead, so this is, I'm imagining, following the same pattern as sounds kind of video gamey, doesn't it? Nice. So what we've got here, intro breaks. Oh, we mentioned these earlier. These have got volume automation on them, similar to that chord. Yeah, volume automation's great too. I mean, automation in general is good for making things less static. So instead of just having like, this is here and this is here, you could have it like, I don't know if that makes sense what I just did, but I hope so. I've got stuff in here I didn't even know was in the tune. And then we're building little vocal samples. Another one. And everything kind of comes to a conclusion. Got another riser here. Should probably be in the effects channel, really, shouldn't it? And one of these as well. Yeah, nice. Just loads of pads everywhere, mate. He's got the auto pan on them as well, so again, just if we take the auto pan off, it probably sounds a bit too pad-like. Yeah, so this kind of wobble just makes everything sound nice and, I don't know, just nice and flowy. And then finally, what we've got here. Then what's this one here? Where's that? Oh, it must be this. And then we got the vocals on the drop. So, a little fun fact about this tune and why it's called Coda. So obviously, like most people, if I'm making a tune and there's a good vocal sample on the drop, it normally takes the name of what the vocal sample is, right? So, you know, like Noisia, Diplodocus. Diplodocus? Guess what the tune's called? Diplodocus. So this, hey, I found it on Splice, and I'm so sure I searched codeine because I was trying to find, like, I don't know, that kind of trappy kind of sample, and it came up. Went in the tune, seemed to do all right. So it's a lot of like bodge jobbing, this tune, I think, which again probably doesn't put me in the best light as a producer, but hey, if I can do it, anyone can do it, right? So use this as inspiration, I guess. And then just little bits of the intro just make themselves apparent throughout the tune. So what's this? After 16 bars, what's this? Just that little secondary pad that we hear in the intro just comes in, and then as we're getting to the conclusion of the first half of the drop, we hear more of the intro sounds. So that second pad again, that wavy that pad that has the auto pan on it to give it that kind of wavy flow, and then that chordal hit. Again, just little things just make themselves known. And what we got in here. Okay, so yeah, this is that pad that we heard at the very beginning. This one. Or I say that pad, one of the pads. This one is now in the second half of the drop, just as a kind of layer throughout. And you might notice here that there's a darker blue on this one. If I turn it up so you can hear, that's because this will follow the note pattern, so goes down when the bass goes down. So if I just play it with it, just yeah, because if it was the same, it just wouldn't sound right, I don't think. I mean, it sounds alright, but I think it sounds better when it drops, when the bass drops. But yeah, that's just me, maybe. And again, just little bits of the intro coming apparent. And then as the drop is concluding, for the last, was that 8 bars, we have more of the intro sounds come in. So again, just like 1 bar before that, we fade into it, cut the bass, and we just have intro sounds. Not too many of them. Just, what's this? Yeah, so just little bits, but again, we're still keeping that kind of element of, you know, flowing an introduction, because that secondary pad from the intro, again, doesn't start straight away. That fades in. And And then we conclude. Cut the bass or the sub for the last two. Effects, again, building tension, and back to the intro. And in terms of like variation, I don't think I actually did much to this tune. So I know we've talked about the double kicks and whatnot, but I think as far as variation goes, I probably cut some of the drums a little bit, and then doubled up on the wob. So very, very lazy. And I'm pretty sure the tune just repeats. There's nothing too extravagant going on. I mean, let's not forget, this is a jump up tune. Jump up tunes are very straightforward most of the time. I'm no exception, but yeah, I think as far as tunes go. And then we have that little hat to fade out. That's quite a cool little detail, that the kind of hat that we started the tune with comes back in at the end. Yeah, I guess I haven't talked about all of the sends and returns because I can see there's reverb for this one here. Oh, yeah, there it is. And of course, mastering now, as I said, I don't have some of the plugins that were originally on the master. There is a delay on this, so I was a bit weird, I think. Like, I put a delay at the start of the tune so that on the master at the start, so that when I exported it didn't like start straight away. Why I did that, I don't know. Maybe I think I was a bit paranoid. I mean, I was like, this is a low down deep release. I want it to be as good as possible. I don't want anything to be cut off. Like, what if someone judges me because it's missing like a millisecond of this intro? Why I would do that, I don't know. I was just paranoid, okay? So I did it. I put a delay on. If you download the tune, you will see there is the delay is there. So, little fun fact. And then we're just going into a bunch of Camel Crushers. I mean, what we got here? That's just a plain old bog standard Camel Crusher. Oh, well, I should probably talk about the utility because we got a bass mono here on 120. So what that's doing is making sure everything under 120 hertz is mono. You don't want any kind of stereo imaging on your sub. And we got a little gain boost, 0.1 decibels. Really pushed the boat out there. So let's have a look at all these Camel Crushers because I'm definitely giving someone a heart attack somewhere with them. So that's just plain to make sure it doesn't redline. Got a little bit of distortion there, slight bit of compression. Again, that looks like the same plugin. Mix Master is slightly less. Got the distortion down. Again, it's like, no, I don't even know if that is compressing. If it is, it's very minuscule. Mix Master at 80%, so this is kind of like the, I don't know, it's got the most being shown for it with the least amount happening. That probably doesn't even make any sense, but I hope you can make your own opinions based on what you're seeing in front of you. And then it should be going into an ozone by the looks of things. Whether it is or not, I don't know. This will be an old version of ozone. Yep. It says nothing on it. I'm imagining that was for back in the day when I was trying to see what Lufsa was at. And then this is meant to be an Oxford inflator, I think. Latency 0 sample. So I'm guessing that's the UAD one, which I don't obviously have because I don't have UAD audio interface. But all in all, I think that's pretty much it, really. That's the breakdown of the tune. I can see I've been recording for nearly an hour, so I'll probably cut some of this out and chop little bits up because that's quite a lot to go through. But I hope you found this useful. I hope you haven't judged me based on anything you've seen here, but if you do, I really don't blame you because, yeah, even I'm looking at this and I'm going, wow, I probably made myself look like a bit of an idiot. I should have probably picked a newer tune, really, shouldn't I? But anyway, this was a bit of a milestone tune for me, so yeah, I just hope you found this video helpful. If you enjoyed this video and you haven't already, please do consider liking, commenting and subscribing to the channel. It does help out a lot, massively. Yeah, if there's any other tunes of mine you'd like to see, please do let me know down in the comments. And I guess until next time, I'll see you later.